Hello again. Welcome to Grandpa's Workshop. Special treat for myself this time around. Going to look at a poet, my favorite female poet. And I have a favorite female poet because it entitles me to have more than one favorite poet. Phyllis McGinley, just a housewife from New England, speaks about everyday things in a not everyday way. I particularly like the fact that as a male, she helps me see inside the female mind. And Lord knows all of us males could use a little help in that regard. I'd like to start with a poem called Homework for Annabelle. A equals BH over 2, 3.14 is pi, but I'd forgotten if I ever knew what r is divided by. Though I knew once, I've forgotten clean what a girl must study to reach 15. How V is volume and M's for mass, and the hearts of the young are brittle as glass. I had forgotten, and half with pride, 15's no world of clover. So here I sit at Annabelle's side, learning my lessons over. For help is something you have to give when daughters are faced with the ablative or first encounter in any school immutable gender's mortal rule. Day after day, for a weary spell, when the dusk has pitched its tents, I sit with a book and Annabelle at the hour of confidence and rummage for lore I had long consigned to cobwebby attics of my mind, like for the radius write down R. Volga's a river, Vega's a star, Brazil's in the Tropic of Capricorn, and heart is a burden that has to be borne. How high is the price of parenthood, and daughters may cost you double. You dare not forget as though you could that youth is a plague and a trouble. N times 7 is 7n. Here I go learning it all again. The climates of continents tend to vary. The verb to love's not auxiliary. Tomorrow will come, and today will pass. But the hearts of the young are brittle as glass. Thank you. Love that poem. I do love it. Oh well. Phyllis McGinley has written a series of poems entitled A Girl's Eye View of Relatives. The poem I'm about to read is called First Lesson, and I want you to know I read it at the wedding of one of my daughters. The thing to remember about fathers is they're men. A girl has to keep it in mind. They are the dragon seekers bent on improbable rescues. Scratch any father and you find someone chock full of qualms and romantic terrors, believing change is a threat, like your first shoes with heels on, like your first bicycle it took such months to get. Walk in strange woods, they warn you about the snakes there. Climb, and they fear you'll fall. Books, angular boys, or swimming in deep water, fathers mistrust them all. Men are the worriers. It is difficult for them to learn what they must learn, how you have a journey to take, and for a while will not return. Here's a poem in A Girl's Eye View of Relatives that is called The Adversary. It's fun to try to guess who the adversary is going to be. Maybe you have already. A mother's hardest to forgive. Life is the fruit she longs to hand you ripe on a plate. And while you live relentlessly, she understands you. Another in the Girl's Eye View of Relatives is Triolet against sisters. Sisters are always drying their hair, locked into rooms alone. They pose at the mirror, shoulders bare, trying this way and that their hair, or fly importunate down the stair to answer a telephone. Sisters are always drying their hair, locked into rooms alone. A poem by Phyllis McGinley, A Girl's Eye View of Relatives in Defense of Brothers. Big brothers mock you about your braces, little ones shock you, have dirty faces, and fill their pockets with snips and snails and what are possibly puppy dog tails. Their shoes are undone, their exploits bore you, but small brothers go on errands for you, while others bring home with them now and then shambling, beautiful, gruff young men. And then finally in this segment is a poem entitled In Praise of Aunts. Of all that tribe the young must do familial obedience to, whom we salute on anniversaries, whose names we learn while new in nurseries, or borrow at baptismal fonts. The soothingest are aunts. Aunts are discreet, a little shy by instinct. They forbear to pry into recesses of the spirit where apprehensions lie. Yet, given a tale to hear, they hear it. Aunts spinster pamper us with praise and seats for worldly matinees with coffee after. Married aunts, attentive to material wants, run rather to the shared comestible, taboo or indigestible, are lenient but cool, and let us, when we must, play fool. Aunts carry no duty in their faces. Their letters mailed from far-off places are merely letters meant to read, answerable at moderable speed, not cries of need or vessels heavy with their hopes. Aunts also send, tucked into casual envelopes, money entirely ours to spend. At night they do not lie awake, shuddering for our sorrow's sake. Beneath our flesh we seldom wear their skeletons, nor need we stare into a looking-glass and see their images begin to be. Aunts care, but only mildly care about our winter moods, postures, or social attitudes, and whether we've made a friend or dropped one. All should have aunts, or else adopt one. Well, that winds up 2018. Happy New Year, by the way. We hope you've liked what we've presented. If you have, we'd sure like it if you subscribed or sent a like in, or perhaps a recommendation of something you'd like us to read or something you'd like us to consider. And indeed, we will consider it. We aim to please and hope to see you all the way through 2019 and maybe beyond. Thanks. I bit my cheek right at the end. So there's probably a squirrely, oh well. Let's have a drink, huh?